What is one thing that you think men lack?
When guys, they expect you to, I look for my partner to be, I love my dad so much. And I think that
If women are lacking something, it's more you need empathy to have.
Hello. So a while ago, I made a video asking college guys what is one thing that men lack nowadays. Now, in order to kind of balance things out, I asked college gals the same question. And so, of course, they kind of gave different answers. I compared their answers to the guys, but also there were certain responses that actually kind of surprised me. So you'll see those too. So definitely stick around for that. Either way, here's the video. What is one thing that you think men lack?
Confidence.
Communication skills. I think men just lack empathy.
Empathy is a big one.
empathy.
Empathizing.
I wouldn't say there's one trait that men lack. It's more that they feel the pressure of other men to act a certain way.
In society, men are traditionally viewed as being like stronger, so maybe it's harder for them to open up.
I think men sometimes maybe don't take criticism very well.
Planning and like time organization.
Some people tend to think that like feminism or criticism of men is anti-men.
I think that like a lot of women are sensitive to people's experiences and men don't really think about that when they're like talking to people.
Like when I'm talking to a man, I feel like I'm not getting like an equal amount of like respect. But also it's like an emotional intelligence thing. I feel like that's the thing I struggle with, like finding a man who has like the same amount of emotional intelligence that I do.
Women tend to be a little bit more introspective about their thoughts and their feelings.
I feel like women use a lot of like social cues that men don't pick up on. Like I feel like they just kind of want us to be like blunt and out front say something, but it's like, why can't you just be emotionally intelligent enough to like pick up on certain cues?
I feel like sometimes men might lack that. And sometimes I feel like if they don't understand what they're feeling about themselves, it's hard for someone else to understand.
It's difficult because they always feel this pressure to be the savior and the hero, and I think it can strain a relationship because I look for my partner to be open, honest, and to be like very vulnerable with me. And
I think there's an expectation that men lack emotion and that men lack the ability to be their true selves, especially among other men. I think that actually when men are around women, they're more genuine because they don't feel that pressure of masculinity.
So when I was asking this question, a lot of people said like men lack either confidence or empathy. What do you think is more important, self-confidence or empathy?
Confidence is definitely important. It like gets you through the door, but it's also it's like this double-edged sword because like on the other end of that sword is like also arrogance. Like I feel like that's why you need emotional intelligence, because then you can gauge how confident you're being and whether or not you're coming across as arrogant.
You need empathy to have confidence. I think some people put on a very good show of having confidence, but it's not the true inner strength that exists when you have empathy for yourself and for others.
I think empathy is like one of the most important things in this world, and it's really important to be empathetic towards everyone in your life.
I don't know if one's necessarily better than the other. I mean, you can be really empathetic, but then if you're not confident, I would say empathetic is better. I would go, yeah.
But a lot of guys, I noticed that when I would ask them who's somebody that showed you this trait or like showed you that it's an important trait, they would refer to their dads. Do you think that like when you think of empathy, do you think of your dad or not really?
So I think time management, my mother is like, she's super like me, so that was more her. I would actually say my stubbornness to myself is from my father. He's very like in his box, like he's very sure of what he believes and what he defines as his sense of self. And so he's always encouraged me to, stick to what I like.
No. Whenever I'm like thinking about my emotional intelligence, I'm not actually looking at either of my parents. I'm looking at my own experiences pretty extensively. Since my parents are older, they're born in like the 60s and the 70s, I think that their capacity for like emotional communication is quite low.
I'm trying to like look at my parents, and I'm like, honestly don't view like my parents as like emotionally intelligent people. I think they're like very like sociable and like can be like socially intelligent and can like kind of gauge like what to say in like social settings, but I don't think they take into account like emotions or like what people like are currently like feeling or thinking.
I love my dad so much. I think that just based off of how he was raised, he might have not had as much empathy as my mom. When I came to him with an issue, he would try to solve it logically and not like emotionally like my mom. And he's like, well, you should do this because this is the logical thing to do.
But I guess like, could that kind of go back to what I was saying? You go to your dad and he's more like, okay, just get this done. But then your mom's more like emotional. It's like that kind of compliment.
I think while that's true, I also think like what if I was just going to my dad? I think finding that happy medium where you could solve my issues logically and also support me emotionally would probably be the best solution. that can't always happen.
Do you think like there's obviously certain things that men are good at, certain things that women are better at? Do you think at a certain point it's important for each to like have their strengths because that way it's kind of complements each other? For example, like when you have friends, like you might be the more social one, you have a friend that's less social, so it complements that you're friends with each other. You know what I'm saying?
I think when it comes to men and women, that's more like a stereotype trait. Women are expected to do this, men are expected to do this. And I think with gender, it becomes more confusing. But I guess like as individuals, everyone should have like different skills because that's just how people are naturally.
Yeah, I feel like definitely like if we're talking just like about just like a basic level, like yeah, of course like people can complement each other and be complimentary, but I feel like also like if women are lacking something, it's more like scrutinized. So it's like if we lack in something, it's like a problem, but if men lack in something, it's kind of just like, oh, they're a man, whatever.
I think there are characteristics that differ between the two, but you also have to understand that when you're with somebody, they have different feelings. Like let's say a woman responds better to empathy. A man, just because he doesn't innately possess that trait doesn't mean he shouldn't try to work on that to support who he's with.
So this last part is what surprised me. Not really what was being said, I kind of already knew that, but more so the messenger that was given it. So I'll let you guys watch it on your own. What is one attribute that men lack in today's society?
I think these days men aren't dominant. Some guys like they'll wait for you to text them. I feel like a lot of the guys that I've been on dates with, it's always what do you want to do? And they always are going to me to come up with the ideas. They're not gonna be like, oh, we should go here, we should do this, because they want to know what I want to do. But in the end, what that kind of gives me is like all this pressure to pick it every single time.
They expect you to initiate it, or like why can't they like say we're going here at this time at this place? I feel like that's how it should be. But when you put it on the girl to do it, it's just like, I don't know, it's like, do I even want to go anymore?
I think that is like a man's attempt to appeal to women because they want women to do what they want to do. But I think sometimes what women want to do is they want to take a step back. They want to take a step back and they want to be impressed. And that can be almost as attractive, well, actually probably more than a man who is going to ask what they want to do.
It kind of goes back to the whole personality thing where it's like they're not showing their personality, they're putting things on you, and so it lacks
initiative. That's what I was thinking of when you said that. Somebody who is decisive and they're excited about what they're going to do. You can feed on their excitement because that excitement makes you excited too, and then like whatever you're gonna do is gonna be like fun because everybody's excited.
It's actually kind of surprising that you say that because I feel like a lot of guys, even me personally, I feel like I wouldn't expect that answer from a woman nowadays. Can you kind of like unpack that a little bit more?
I mean, like when I say dominant, I don't mean controlling, but like as a guy, you should like set the tone. I feel like you should lead the girl. It doesn't mean like be overbearing or anything. And I know like a lot of women these days, they'd be like, oh, like, well, I want to do my own thing. I want to do this, I want to do that. But like, I feel like men should just be the more dominant.
But okay, so I do have to rebuttal because you did kind of mention like the independence and stuff like that. Do you think that some of that has contributed to it? Because I feel like a lot of guys, they get kind of nervous like doing that sort of thing around women because they feel like it's gonna be like an instant thing to get rejected.
I mean, I think maybe initially, like when you first approach someone, maybe like I could see like, oh, what if I get rejected? But when you know like the girl is obviously into you, when there's like, and you guys have signified that you guys are willing to like carry on, then the guy needs to show some sort of dominance, I feel like. But initially I do see the point of, will I get rejected? How do I go about this? But once you're past that, it's just like something needs to click.